I have way too many factory sealed games in my collection, and I don't really want them. I'd rather replace them with complete copies so that they are playable. So what I'm doing, and this is kind of weird, but I've printed out a list of every factory sealed game that we have in the collection, and I'm going to go through my store and see if we have any good condition complete copies that I can replace them with. I went through my collection spreadsheet and I was able to filter by factory sealed, and I created these lists. So I'm going to be able to go through everything and hopefully replace some of these. This entire packet is Switch. The first one that I found before I started filming, before I decided to make this video, was this one. And the case was really bad, so I replaced it. But this is a very nice copy, and this is going to be an adequate replacement for my sealed copy. So when I'm looking at replacing them, the ones that I'm adding to my collection need to be in really, really good condition in order for it to really be worth the effort. If I'm going to have to replace the game later on again, there's kind of no point in doing it the first time around, so I'm only looking for very good condition copies. My list of PS1 games was pretty small, and I did find 3. Not a ton, but I'm happy with those. That's 3 games marked off the list. Now I'm going to move on to PS2. This copy of Big Mother Truckers 2 is unfortunately in poor condition. You can see it's kind of worn at the bottom of the artwork here, so I'm passing on this one. We got 19 games from the cheaper PS2 stuff. Next, I'm looking in the PS2 glass case. Looks like the only one from the glass case that we need is the Harvest Moon Save the Homeland. My list for DS and 3DS is pretty long, 3DS in particular, because I was buying a lot of the games when they were coming out. But these ones should be pretty easy to go through. We don't have a ton of complete in box DS and 3DS, only a couple shelves. Let's go look. There are 2 Pokemon games we only have sealed, Black Version 2 and Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Darkness. So we have this one here, which would be really awesome to replace with a sealed copy for the store. The only issue is that the cartridge is a little ugly. It's not really that big of a deal because the rest of it's pretty nice, and it's going to be really easy to replace a cartridge if I want to. So I think I'm going to add that one to the stack, and looks like that's going to be it for the original DS stuff. This game just got traded in and it just so happened to be on the list. And then those are the only other ones that I found. And 2 copies of Mario Maker, but this is the original release, and then the Nintendo Selects are basically like the greatest hits player's choice version. So seems like I don't have an opened copy of that game at all, so both of my copies are sealed, but 5 off the list for the 3DS. I'm enlisting the help of Ryan to help me go through the Wii list because it's going to be easier with 2 people.
Okay.
Build-A-Bear Workshop, a friend for all seasons.
No.
Cabela's African Adventures, or Cabela's Hunting Expeditions.
What was the second one again?
Hunting Expeditions.
Looks like you got it.
Happy Feet.
Happy Feet? No, you don't got it.
Hot Wheels Battle Force 5.
Hot Wheels? No, we don't got it.
iCarly and iCarly 2.
iCarly and this one's kind of, this one's in poor condition. No one that?
No. Ice Age Continental Drift. These are the ones that we found so far, but we're closing the store for the night, so we're gonna have to pick up on this tomorrow. It's the next morning now, and before we head to the store today, I was looking at my GameCube collection and noticed I already had sealed games and also the complete counterparts. So these here we're going to take into the store to sell. We're going to mark these off of the list because I already have complete copies, and then we're going to continue working on the rest of the stuff. And then once we're all done, we'll bring everything back here to the game room, pull my sealed games off the shelf, and we'll take a look at everything that we're replacing. So I just finished going through the rest of the Wii games, so these are the ones that I was able to pull out. Mostly just filler titles, but that's pretty much what this whole thing is anyway. So I'm filming this video over multiple days, if not weeks, so I'm a little sick right now, but this game just got traded in today. I knew this was on the list, so I pulled it, and gonna be bringing in our factory sealed copy, which is pretty cool because this is like $250 and the sealed one is over $350. So gonna be a nice swap out for my collection and then a nice little boost for the store. It has been about a month since I started filming this video and I took a very long break, but the only thing that's remaining to work on is Nintendo Switch. So this is the biggest category. This entire booklet here is all Switch. So this is the one that's going to take the longest to go through and probably have the most, well, probably not the most, to swap out because most of our games here at the store for Nintendo Switch are factory sealed. We have a small section of pre-owned stuff, but I'm sure that we'll find a couple still. So I'm going to go through those finally, and then we will go home to the game room and we will see how much stuff we are swapping out. We have done PS1, PS2, Dreamcast, DS, 3DS, GameCube, Wii, Wii U, and Nintendo Switch. They are now all done. So we have gathered everything and we are finally back in the game room after a month of working on this video. Just taking a lot of breaks is the only reason it took so long. So I have all the stuff pulled off the shelf that we are replacing, so let's take a look. These are all the games that I pulled from the store. These are the complete copies. They are all opened. And we are replacing all of these, which are the factory sealed copies that were in my collection. So I have a ton of factory sealed games just from collecting over the years, and I don't really care about having them sealed. I would much rather just have complete copies. So that's why I'm taking these, and these are going to the store. So it's kind of a win-win because I get what I want in the collection, which is opened copies, and the store gets these factory sealed copies, which are worth quite a bit more. Now, a lot of them are worth about the same. A sealed copy of Nerf and Strike is not really worth much more than an opened copy, but there are some examples where some of the factory sealed games are worth quite a bit more, particularly with the Nintendo Switch games, and then games like Obscure for the PS2. So pretty cool, very happy to do that. And in the process of adding these into my collection spreadsheet and then physically grabbing these off the shelf, I actually noticed I had some mistakes in my spreadsheet, which resulted in this stack right here. So these are games that There's a couple opened ones here, which I brought from the store, but it turns out I had an opened copy. And then the My Street and the Grand Theft Auto Trilogy here are both factory sealed, but there was an opened copy on the shelf as well. I did try to go through a while ago and pull all the duplicates already, so My Street and GTA should have been taken to the store a while ago. Just in the process of going through them again today, I did come across those, which are now the sealed copies are going to the store, and I'm keeping the complete copies. So there it is. I now have far less factory sealed games in my collection and have replaced them with complete copies, but the work is not done because I have a ton more. Just looking at the Wii shelf here, anything that's in a bag like this usually means it's factory sealed. So Madagascar 3, not a game that I care to have sealed. I'm happy with the complete copy. So over time, and even before making this video, I have done this. I routinely bring home games that are complete and take my factory sealed copies to the store. But I've never gone through our store inventory like I did in this video. So this is something that I might do once or twice a year just to get a big bulk lot of stuff replaced, when normally throughout the year I'm just doing it, a game here or there that I happen to come across. So it's kind of cool that I was able to do it this way and get this big stack of games replaced, but my work is not done until all my factory sealed games are replaced with complete copies, and who knows how long that'll take. But it's going to require me to look for games like Happy Feet. I don't need it sealed, but that's also not a game that I'm really looking for. So who knows when it'll finally be done. But that is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.